Hey there, this is the beginning of the Sacred Writing Challenge with Sofia, Wren, its creator. And I'm so excited for this little mini kickoff session. Getting so many downloads and so many things to share. And this entire event is something that came to me in a meditation last year around this time in January. And it was an amazing success. I just right away took the inspiration and put it out there without any fanfare the first time, and it started to inspire others to write and to be getting huge realizations that were bringing them forward in their life and so much more. And through the year, I bring it back again, and then people were sharing their writing, their spiritual writing with family and with their social media following, and really kind of coming out of the closet with who they are in their writing. And there's so much to sacred writing that I want to share. And today we're going to be starting the whole journey of the Sacred Writing Challenge, and there's going to be some new fun prizes this time. And I just want to say hello to everyone joining live. We've got some live people. Hey. And feel free to leave me a comment if you have any questions. We are also going to be talking about sacred writing challenges, and I've got a couple people who have already submitted some things that they have around writing that has been a challenge for them. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a clearing to get some of that out of the way, kind of clear our channel for our sacred writing adventure. And we're going to be, I'll be addressing some of those specific questions. So if you have something that you want to add, you can leave a comment, or you can just say hi. It's so great to know that there's some people here live. And for you watching the replay, thanks for joining me as well. Okay, cool. So let me just go ahead and just see who's here. Oh, wow, we've got a lot of people here right now. Hello, everyone. And great. So first, a little bit about me. My name is Sofia Wren, and I work with writers and creators to help them make faster progress on their projects, whether that's like a creation, like a book or a blog, could be something through their business. A lot of times it's really unique and it hasn't really been put out there before, but I help people to have the confidence to put themselves out there with their unique perspective and their work. So that way it's out there helping people and not just in their head. And there's so many fears and worries and challenges that come up around creativity and writing specifically that we're going to dig into that a little bit today, and you'll get the chance to just receive some of my work for free. So that's what this is all about. The entire journey is free, Sacred Writing Challenge, and I really feel like it's a part of my mission to help people to share their voice and to start to put it on paper, because when it's on paper, we can't ignore it. When there's repeated thoughts, repeated realizations, aha moments, downloads, when we have those insights that just keep coming back again and again as important to write down, then sometimes that's what we need. That's the kicker to get us to do something a little bit different, because we just keep seeing it on black and white on the page. It's a lot harder to ignore it when it's written down. And also the process of writing is really amazing. I love it. I've been writing since I was a little kid, but I had a big long gap where I didn't write at all because I just couldn't finish anything I was writing. I couldn't finish like a short story. I could do something with a deadline for school, but we all know that's different, right, than writing from your heart. And it took until after I graduated college to really come out of my shell. I had a lot of fears about being seen for who I really was. I think I thought something was wrong with me deep down. But I was different. I've always been different. But now I see it as a gift, because once I started to write, it really helped me to see what had been under the surface in my way. All of that stuff was just really visible on the page, and then writing actually helped me to work through all that. So it's an amazing tool, and we're so privileged to be able to write. I've actually worked in a classroom through AmeriCorps with 8th graders who don't know how to read or write, and they don't really have any desire to learn at that point. And there are a lot of those kind of kids all over the country. So those of us who can write, I think we take it for granted that, hundreds of years ago, like a lot of women weren't even taught to write. So it's really incredible. It's really something that is an amazing skill. And sometimes what we're writing isn't just words. If you look at a movie, somebody wrote the dialogue, somebody wrote the action, and here it is taking form on the screen. It starts by writing, but it can come to life in so many different areas of our life. And sacred writing is when we realize that it's not just about us. At some point as I began writing, I started to get back in touch with my sense of spirituality, that there's something bigger than all of us. And I've lived a hard life. I lost my mom when I was 3, and my family had not really been there for me. So I had a lot of pain and things like that. And for a long time, I didn't really feel safe to be spiritual because people made fun of me, and then also just seemed like, crap, in this world, you just gotta do it yourself. I mean, nobody's really watching out for you. And so it was a big deal for me to believe that there could be something watching out for me after I became like 22. And it's all thanks to writing. And now I really do see it as I'm not just writing my own thoughts. I'm opening up to something bigger flowing through me in the process of writing. I'm opening up to the sacred. I'm opening up to that something extra. And we all have access to it. As I began trusting myself and being creative and exploring my spirituality and following those little clues that came up in my writing, bringing them into action, I started to really expand into my intuitive gifts. I got training as a massage therapist. I have a master's in political science. I realized the power each of our voices is. Sometimes we need to have our private space to explore that. That's what Sacred Writing Challenge is about, having your private space, and then maybe you will have the enthusiasm and the confidence to put it out there. But right now we're going to just take some time for ourselves to get clear on where we're going, like I needed to. After I graduated in political science, I was like, crap, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in politics. So I came into the healing field, and this is one amazing way to heal and to find the everything we need to move forward to the next level. And I think it's important to mention also, I now have I'm in training for a master's in spiritual and pastoral care. And and we do have some comments I'm going to share in a second, but that perspective of the spiritual is kind of what makes me different in the writing arena. And again, it's like we're a vessel. And if we think about ourselves as being a vessel, then we don't judge our content so much. It's not so much about, this is what I'm thinking, this is who I am. It's like, I am receiving my feelings right now, and then they can flow through me. I'm receiving these thoughts for me to move with them into the next thought. It can really help us to not get stuck in our life. And if we have something scary that we feel like we ought to say or we ought to do, we can realize, like, this has just been given to me. This isn't who I am. And I can choose to work with it. I can choose not to, but I don't need to judge myself for this, for these thoughts or these dreams or these emotions, whatever it is. Because judgment is just so not a part of the Sacred Writing Challenge. So please let go of any judgments you have about being a writer, being not enough, or anything that comes up through the challenge. Just really be open and curious, and don't edit yourself. You don't need to share anything with anyone that you don't want to. So I honor everybody for having privacy. And so the questions I've gotten so far, I'm not going to say who asked them, because I just want to honor everyone having private space to just go within and find your own opinion and find your own voice and find your own truth. And this is about you, because that's what I needed. No one really gave me that instruction when I was in college or anything. There was no class on just being yourself. And writing was my class in being myself. So that's what this is all about. And ultimately, you can tweak everything to fit your needs. Okay, so I'm going to give you a structure that is how this has been handed to me in my meditation and through the course of bringing it to being multiple times. I'm going to share with that with you, and some extra incentives to play along with us. But this is really amazing. And when you're in touch with yourself, in touch with your intuition, you'll always know what to do next. And that's why I also have rereading events, because it's in the notebook, it's in your writing, and that's all you're going to need to do. Just listen to yourself. Okay, cool. Oh, I just got a comment that this is making someone cry, and she's thankful. And mwah, mwah, mwah. Well, that's amazing. I'm so glad this is this is landing with you. And another said, I hadn't thought of writing as healing for people or others, to be honest. Yeah, I really have found it to be incredibly healing. And I'll be sharing a lot of tools to help with that as well. And someone's just getting focused. We have some people kind of come in late. That's okay. It's all right. And another person really loves, when it's on paper, we can't ignore it. And she's sending some love and appreciation. Yeah, when it's on paper, we can't ignore it. So I want to get started by sharing something that came to me today. So we are a channel. And again, it's like we're going to be kind of cleaning our glass off. Like if you imagine a beautiful glass vessel, like a wine glass or something, and it's been kind of like smudged up, like people have kind of touched it and like gotten fingerprints on it, and it's like everyone has their opinions, right? And sometimes that can really cloud us and get in our way, and I hate that. So this is going to be really great for helping us to just sort of shine and polish our vessel, you know, who we are, so that way we can see what's inside of us. We can see what is brewing, the ideas, the dreams, the emotions, the beautiful thing about the glass that is our being, and the beautiful thing about everything that is coming through us as the vessel. So it's a very feminine space. I hope that analogy helps you. And I got some questions that I want to address real quick before I get into the nitty-gritty about how the challenge works. And oh, and love to you, Renee. She says she loves being here and being in my space, so thanks. Okay, so I got one question, which is saying, it was beautifully said, so I want to read what she said here. Okie doke. And it's about writing about life. You know, like a lot of people keep a journal or a diary. And I think this is a brilliant challenge to mention, because I've experienced it and I hadn't really put it into words. So this one says, a challenge I have with journaling sometimes is getting bogged down in the details. I find myself playing the role of news reporter rather than digging into my imagination and my feelings, which is where all the gold is, right? I think writing down an important day's events can be good, but it can also lead to stress that I'm not documenting enough of these moments. I start to think about a backlog of info that should be written down, which will sometimes stop me from writing altogether for periods of time. Looking forward to playing tomorrow. Okay, so that's an amazing, amazing, amazing question. And I think that makes a lot of sense. And I've come across this, especially when I started writing many years ago, because I didn't really know what else to write about. And so the questions we're going to be giving you to answer this round of Sacred Writing Challenge, they're going to be a little bit different, just so you know, than like what happened today. It's going to be helping you to think a little bit bigger and be open to that kind of bigger download about your life. So you might be answering it differently anyway, but because I want to empower you to take these tools back with you. You know, at the end of the challenge, you're always going to be able to write. I do want to say that for this challenge of being a news reporter and feeling like you have to get everything, first, it's good to breathe, because that's a lot of rules about how you have to do this. And it feels like the fingerprints on the glass. Like maybe somebody kind of told you that's what the point of writing a journal is, or that's what the point of writing. So it's important to kind of decide for yourself, what is my intention in writing? Like, what do I really want to get out of it? And if you like, you can take that as a journaling prompt and you can go ahead and just sort of brainstorm. Something I do every day actually is write down my daily intention for the day, and it changes and it evolves. So it won't always be the same thing. As you go about the Sacred Writing Challenge, you might find a little bit more clarity on why you like to write and why you like to write things down at the end of your day or during your day around your life. So you might have some new clarity going through this challenge. But as I was sitting in meditation today, that was the answer I had for this, is to remember that you get to set your intention for writing and nobody else does. But sometimes when we don't take the time to consciously decide our intention, we're going with other people's ideas and opinions. And that is why it won't be satisfying to us. And if you're feeling like you're not doing a good enough job in writing, then of course you're not going to want to do it, because then it's not fun. And it will only serve to make you feel like you're still not doing enough. And I also think it's important to trust, as we go about the Sacred Writing Challenge and onward, that whatever we need to write down, whatever we need to realize, whatever insights need to be recorded is going to be perfectly enough for that session. And to let go of needing to have it all be a certain way, to let go of needing it all to be exactly right and exactly everything that ever happened in our day, right? Because we have a memory, and memories resurface, and I like to believe they resurface at exactly the right time that we need them. So if we can trust that something bigger is going to drop into our little glass vessel exactly what we need to remember at the right time, then it's not as important to be the news reporter anymore, because something bigger is going to just remind us when we need to be reminded. So there's another piece in there about trust. And I got another question, but I just wanted to remark that there was an image that came forward to me about these kind of questions, that there's something deeper under them sometimes that will come with the writing, especially with this challenge. You're going to find some clarity about what's really going on under this question, as if this glass that is you, the glass that is the inside of the vessel, what if the glass is on a table? And what if the table is a little bit like rickety or uncertain? And it's like you can fill the glass up, but what if it just gets a little knocked because the table, something under it, is a little uncertain? So I think there's a little bit of digging there, as well as with the next question. So there's something to be grounded here, maybe with some confidence. But I'm going to be vague, because there's a beauty in discovering for yourself what's really going on. I'm also going to be offering everybody to a way to talk to me a little bit more if you have a particular question, or you just want to maximize the challenge. I'll be giving you a way to talk to me more privately, and we can dig together about what's going on with the table, or anything else. So that'll be here. So far, we got some feedback that somebody really thought that was an awesome answer, and it resonated. She loves the metaphor of fingerprints on the glass. And I wanted to say I got that. That was one of those downloads. So I I got that this month on the full moon. I'm doing these recordings for this membership community I've created. And there's a lot more to it, and I can tell anyone about that if they're interested. But I got this download, and it was around sharing our gifts, was the theme of all the spiritual messages for that day. So sharing our gifts, it's really important to remember that we are the glass on this table, and we have to make sure that our table is secure and grounded. Otherwise, we might be missing something, no matter how much we get answers and clarity and stuff like that, that something might just shake us off. So this will help us to ground, and to ground in who we are, the Sacred Writing Challenge, to help us ground in who we are and always know what to do next. And we can smooth out whatever might be giving us a little unsteadiness, and so we can feel more solid and secure in who we are and in our writing process. So it's amazing. And I have another question about, let me go ahead and read it. Okay. Oopsies. Alrighty. So this question, okay, is huge. It's a huge question. So this is the tip of the iceberg answer that I got in my meditation. It says, how do I put something out there and then resist the urge to take it down? Because it doesn't feel like anyone is reading or that it matters. And that is huge. So she's talking about putting it out there, like on social media maybe, or in the world. And remember, that's a second step. So first we do our own writing, okay, and then we share, right? And we do it separate steps, because if we think like we're constantly having someone over our shoulder, it's going to limit our ability to really drop in and surrender to the process, because we might be editing ourselves. Okay, so remember, this is a separate step. Okay, and what I was getting is that I should really tell a story about my experience with this question. So when you feel like you're not sure anyone is reading or that what you're doing matters, it's important to think that maybe maybe you need to give it a little bit of a shot first for people to get that, to give you the validation. So, okay, so in my sense, it took a while for me to get feedback from enough people to really feel certain that what I was putting out in the world was being read. I can use the example of my daily tarot posts that I still put them on social media, Instagram, Facebook especially. And I originally did something more like a daily affirmation a couple years ago. And I was just doing it, and it felt like something to do. And it was kind of cool because I got something out of it. I got something out of whatever I was sharing. That's why I chose to post that, because I liked it. And it took a while for anyone to, like, if people might like it, like on, thumbs up on Facebook, but I was just like, I don't know. I mean, should I really like go to the effort of posting it? I mean, it's kind of stressful to post something every day. And then one day somebody said in person to me, I really like it. Keep it up. And that was months. It was a couple months after I did it. Okay, so it took that posting to really get that feedback. And then I changed it into doing a tarot card. And again, it's like you get some sprinkles of notes from people online, but when you have someone in person tell you something, it clicks a little bit differently. And it took a long time for me to really get that more people were seeing my work, more people were enjoying my work than ever commented or thumbs upped it. Like, so many people see things and enjoy them and don't give you the immediate feedback. And you might have no idea that they got something out of it. You might have no idea. And it wasn't until maybe like a year after I started doing those daily tarot posts that it really, really hit me, because my friend invited me to a wedding and she gave me a scarf that had SW on it, Sofia Wren. And that really meant a lot to me. And her mom said to me, I read your daily tarot posts and I love them. I didn't know that she did. And my friend said, yeah, I don't always comment. I don't always like the post, but I really, when it pops up, I really love reading it. And then I mentioned this to somebody else saying I was so surprised. And then they said the same thing. And you really have no idea what the impact of using your voice is, because sometimes it trickles in and it affects someone later and you just don't know. So you can't make it about having like proof or evidence. That is our mind getting in the way. That is us getting in the way. So the thing is that sometimes you have to put it out there for a while before you get the real strong response from people. Sometimes it's different. It could be a particular blog post or something will gonna go viral or get a lot of feedback. Sometimes it's different. But you have to remember that this is your soul food. Okay, so sometimes people put pictures of their dinners up and stuff. And I don't think anyone really cares if they get a ton of likes and comments about the dinner picture, because they're like, oh, I made this, I created this, it's so yummy, I'm just gonna share it because it's so yummy to me. And this is what, try to make sharing your creations just like that. Like, this is my soul food. It's so yummy to me. I feel like maybe somebody else will get fed from seeing what I've made. Like, maybe I can share some of this excitement. Like, we're all gonna share candles and I'm gonna put my candle out here. And whether or not anyone comes and like lights their candle off of mine is still lit. I'm still lit up by this. But maybe, just maybe, some people are going to bring their candles up, and then we're all going to have our lit candles, and they're going to go off, and it's going to spread. And we might have no idea, because of the internet, how big our impact is. So please don't give up. And this is something that, again, there's something under this that I think could do further exploration through the Sacred Writing Challenge. Maybe more insight will come up here. So I have one more question that someone gave. I'm going to check in over here. All right, cool. So we have one more comment from the Sacred Writing Challenge group that I'll also be mentioning a way to address that. But I'm going to take a breath. Is anybody excited about the challenge? I'd love to hear in the comments if people are excited, if anyone has any particular like hopes or intentions or expectations about what do they think they will get out of it maybe. Just kind of curious about what's exciting you, because I'm so excited. I could be like jumping up and down right now. So excited. So how does it work? So everyone can be signed up for this challenge. This is going to be a little bit different from last time, where we have a social media component to the challenge, and we also have an email component to the challenge. And I've added the email component this time because sometimes I can't reach everyone with social media. Facebook being Facebook, you don't see every single post sometimes. And sometimes my posts get like pushed under things, and I can't reach you, and then I can't tell you the news. So that's a little bit frustrating. So we have an email, a way for me to reach you. However, I have made this very, very specific and targeted just to my Sacred Writing friends. So if you do receive any of my weekly emails, you have to take a little action to let me know that you want a little bit extra from me around the Sacred Writing Challenge to get the special Sacred Writing Challenge news. So if that makes sense to you, awesome. If you are already a part of this live cast, you are good. Don't have to do anything. If you're watching the replay, you may have to take an action. Underneath of this YouTube video, I'll put a link, and you'll go to that link and you will sign up. Then you're done. Once you sign up, you'll get an instruction email, and you'll have all the links that you need to go join the Facebook group and to sign up for any of my social media channels. And those are ways that we will be able to communicate with each other. Oh, and we have some exciting people are excited. Oh, cool. So I got some news. My words are so healing, maybe about, putting your work out there and just getting excited about it, and a little less concerned about getting the feedback around it. Good. And we're like, yes, bring it. So excited. We got somebody saying, yay, and intention to really show up and do the challenge this year. Yay. I think the email will make it a little easier for you. Excited in many ways, and looking forward to a group of like-minded people. This is fantastic. I think we got one of those already right here, right? Always excited to delve into my psyche, and always worried about what I'll find. I kind of like that. And someone saying hi, hello, my friend. So yes, we won't know what we will find until we find it, right? So that's perfect segue into something I wanted to talk about, which is that creativity and writing is kind of like entering a cave. Here's another very feminine metaphor, right? We're like entering a cave, and sometimes we're like, that was like a stalactite, stalactite, that's right, it's the ceiling one. Yeah, and it might be like, oh, I just hit my head on something. I don't even know what it is. It's so dark in this cave. It's just like in my way. And it's like, what is this? I don't know what this is. And when you're writing, you can really shine some light on that. And then sometimes you know what it is. And I'm infecting you with my excitement, definitely. Yeah, so sometimes there is a block there. So what I want to do with you all is do a little bit of like a healing clearing around some very common stalactites. I'm going to be also reading from Big Magic here. in just a moment and sharing what Elizabeth Gilbert says about possible very common blocks to creativity and writing, the stalactites. And I'll be using that for inspiration. I do want to look at that other question first so I don't miss anything. And before we do that, I will finish up what is going to be going on with the Sacred Writing Challenge. It's going to be something different. It's going to be something different and exciting. What is it? What is it? Okay, so you are going to get the emails. That's something different. But there's a different kind of prize. So every day you will get a prompt, and this prompt is to inspire your writing. You can change the prompt a little bit if you want to. All the questions I got in this huge download while I was meditating, and there's just something special about these questions. They just have a different kind of energy to them. And when I write to answer them, it's like I'm connecting to something very wise within myself, without myself. I don't know, I don't care. It's amazing, and I get really great insights. So I love the questions, but please feel free, make it your own. Go as you're guided and your inspiration. You'll get these questions, and then we have a game. So in the Facebook group, in our private community, which you can only see the responses if you are a member, and I'm including people kind of one at a time. So if you haven't been approved yet, I'll be getting to you once or twice a day to bring everyone into the fold of the group. We're all respecting each other's privacy in this group. So if you're a member, please do that. And what you can do every day after you write, as much as you want to write, I'm not going to put a rule on you, but I do recommend that it be on paper. I do recommend it be by hand on paper. That seems to be more sacred than on a computer. It's just a little bit different. And remember, we're doing this in our own space first. And if we choose to share, we do that second. So please do not just go immediately into the community and just type in for your first draft, because you're going to miss something by not having your private personal space. Okay, I can't possibly know if you're doing it. I just know that it would help you best to do it in your own time on paper. And again, I would recommend maybe more than a paragraph. I'm trying to keep this expectation small so that you cannot possibly beat yourself up about it. Maybe there's just a word that you want to answer. I don't really mind. The last thing I want, though, is for you to feel like you're not doing enough and then to stop doing the challenge. I also don't want you to miss a few days and then to give up, because it's not in your best interest to be hard on yourself about this, because then you miss out on the insight you could have. Maybe on just one day, you're going to have amazing insight that'll make the entire intention to do the challenge worth it. So it might not even matter if you do all of the days. That being said, I'm going to intend to do all the days. And if I miss one, I'm just going to start with the current day. And if I feel like going back, then going back. But just keep tracking with us. So that way you're doing the current day. If you skip days, just do the current day and then maybe go back, okay? And that way we can all participate and be in community together and no one feels left out. Okay, so then you can get points. So you do it on your own, okay? And then you can rack up some points if you want for our contest with exciting prizes to be announced. The first #1 point, and I'll send an email with this kind of summarized. The first point you can have by giving us a high five. By giving us a high five in the private community and letting us know, hey, I did it. Okay, so that's how you get 1 point. There's going to be a place in the Facebook group for each day that is going to be where you will see the prompt. It'll be a big picture, and I'm going to show you in a second where to go on my screen. And you will just leave a comment to say, hey, I did it today. And if you want to share a little bit about what you got out of it, then you get 2 points. So you just get 1 point for just saying, hey, I did it. And you get 2 points by sharing a little bit about what you realized, or how you're feeling now, or whether it was worth, really anything about how it was for you. Okay? If you feel like sharing a bit of yourself with us, then you get 2 points. Okay? And you get 3 points if you feel like sharing a bit of yourself with the outside world and tag it with Sacred Writing Challenge. So that means that you're going to reveal maybe a photograph of like your notebook closed with a cup of tea, and you're like, I just participated in the Sacred Writing Challenge, or I'm taking the Sacred Writing Challenge. It doesn't really matter at what point in the process you share, or you could decide to share a little excerpt, but just tag whatever it is with hashtag Sacred Writing Challenge. And it could be a photo. I love photos. I just think they're really easy. And you don't have to show, you don't actually have to show any of your writing if you want to keep it personal. So that's a cool way to just get 3 points, and you can still have your private space, but this is a way for us to share with the world that we're writing and that this is our passion and we're having fun, and you're also sharing the word about the Sacred Writing Challenge, for which I'm grateful, because then maybe we'll expand our community and have more people playing this time and next time, so it helps me out. So you get 3 points. I also think there's something really, really huge about taking that second step to share your personal self with the world, because it's giving you more permission and releasing some judgment, and it's very healing. And then also maybe what you have discovered in your journey can help someone else. And I think that our voice is so important. We have an individual voice, and it's what can connect us to other people and the collective power of all of our voices. Having studied political science, like, this is an amazing, amazing thing. And it comes from our own belief in ourselves and in the power of our own voice. And nobody can take that away from us. No one can give it to us. We have to embrace that ourselves. And so I hope this Sacred Writing Challenge will help you to trust in the power of your voice and to speak it when you feel that you should speak. And we're going to change the world that way. So that's why that's 3 points, okay? Okay, so you get the maximum number of points depending on what action. So they don't add up together, okay? So you can't get maximum 6 points in a day. You can only get maximum 3 points, okay? And you can get them any day of the challenge. It doesn't matter what question you answer. At the end, I will be counting all of the votes. The person with the highest number of points will win the grand prize, and we will be randomly choosing the winners for the second and third prize from everyone. So it doesn't actually, if you only had 1 point, you could still win the second or third prize. Okay, and I'm just going to read some comments real quick. We got somebody commenting they love the intention of another person and to be in this community. That's so amazing. We have someone say, I don't consider myself as much of a writer, mainly because I think too fast, but I am a great thinker. I'm looking forward to this challenge to improving my writing. Cool. And we got a great way to help us to be engaged and share with one another. And yeah, I hope that's really my intention with this contest, to get everyone engaged and sharing. And it does help me to know how many people are participating, and to individually assist you if anything comes up and you want to share in the Facebook group about your challenges or your insights or really anything. And when you share, if you want to make a separate post inside of our Facebook private group, if you want to make a separate post about your insights from the day, that will also be 2 points. So you can take up a little bit more space in your own post if you want, and share a photo or whatever you want to do at any point as well, and that will be 2 points. I know that these could bring up some questions, so I am going to send a summary of the point system, and I'll probably post it in the Facebook community as well. So you'll have a reminder, but that'll just give you a little bit of insight into that. And what's the prize? The prize is the grand prize is a spotlight. So you will get an hour with me to help coach you to take advantage of a spotlight I'm going to be offering to the grand prize winner. So you can come onto my YouTube channel and we can do a little YouTube show together to highlight you, your voice, your work, your message, anything that you want to share with people. If you want to share your journey with the Sacred Writing Challenge, I'd love to just give you a spotlight to share and use your voice in whatever way will make you happy. And we'll have an hour of private time together to help get you clear on how you would like to use that. You'll also have the benefit of being able to speak through my platform and speak to hundreds of people across Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, thousands of people on Twitter. I have 800 people we can send an email out to right away. So I have collected a lot of people around me to hear my messages, and I'll be sharing that with you to the grand prize winner. And I'll be giving you all of my skills and talents to help prepare you to really shine there confidently. And I'm really excited about this grand prize that came to me, and I'm so excited to help. And remember, you're going to have this challenge to help get you into a place of feeling more prepared for that. So it works all together. And then the second and third prize, there won't be the spotlight, but you will have private time with me, a half-an-hour session with me, to use however you like to help you get clear on your next step forward, to help you be more confident in your creativity and your writing, or to work on one of your creative projects and bring you forward there. So that'll be really, really fun, and I'm just so excited about these prizes. And now for some challenges. We got one more challenge from the Facebook group, and then we'll do a little bit of tapping and clearing of those blocks. So here we go. We got another question. It sounds silly, so I'm quoting. It sounds silly, but guilt is a challenge. Guilt that I'm doing something that's not productive to or for others. I did start the artist way for a while and got into 3 pages a day until I missed, then it slid further and further back. Yes, I do get it's for me, but I'm finding blocks to nurturing myself, and procrastination is winning at the moment. Hence why I signed up for this, a metaphorical kick up the ass. Pardon my French. I don't really care about swearing. But yes, that is huge, the guilt that you're not doing something productive. Or maybe not productive for other people. So this is again one of those things where there's something under here that I think as you write in this particular challenge, it will help you find these deeper roots where you can eliminate that. And I also am happy to help people with a private conversation to dive in a little bit more. But the question here is the guilt, I think, is where things really are here. So feeling guilty. So when I feel guilty, I feel it in my body and it feels very heavy. And what I need to do is I need to think of a reason why it's better for me to let that go than to hold on to it. Sometimes there's a past event, is what I'm feeling like I should say. Sometimes there's a past event where we did take time with ourselves and it caused problems, or other people disapproved, and it prevented us from being of service to them because of that incident. It could be so far back that you don't really remember the incident. But what's left behind is this sort of funky energy, and it gets trapped in our body, these emotions, these old things. And when we're in unforgiveness to ourselves or to others, our heart shuts its walls, and we stop being compassionate. We stop being understanding, and we hold on to the sense that we should have known better, and that it's better in everyone's interest if we just keep beating ourselves up about it forever. Now, I'm a big fan of forgiveness. It's one of the tools that I use to move out of the past and into the future. And I was going to mention this more like next week after we get through a few days, in case anyone needs to forgive themselves for not doing every day of the challenge. But I have a tool to help with forgiveness of ourselves. So for this particular person, I'm going to be providing the link to that, so that way she can check that out and just sort of process those feelings of it being unforgivable to take time away from productivity. And I do want to say that, so I'll also be putting that link in the email I'll send out and below this video for the replay. So everyone will have access to it. It's free. But I wanted to also say that productivity is very subjective, because there's linear productivity and there's creative productivity. And linear productivity has a lot of rules, and it's about what everyone else will like approve of this being productive. It's like, is everyone else using a highlighter and highlighting? Okay, then I guess this is productive. Is everyone else making to-do lists? Okay, I guess this is what they say is productive now. You know, it's kind of subjective. It's kind of the fingerprints on the glass. It's kind of outside opinions about what that means. Because personally, I find that meditating is very productive. I had amazing downloads for this. Some people will be like, well, you're just sitting on your butt. You're not being productive. Like, well, hey, I got all these downloads. I totally know what to say now. Or I took a bath before this. Someone would say, oh, that's so luxurious. Lucky you get to take a bath. Well, yeah, it helps me clear my mind and nourish myself. And I just get these good ideas when I'm in the bath. And whether or not you get the ideas in the bath or during the moment, maybe you need to clear your head and take pause to empty your vessel, empty your channel, so that way you're ready for the great insights that are going to make everything easier, quicker, faster, more productive in the long run. And the problem with feeling the guilt is we're really connected to the way things have always been done, and we're not open to a new way that could be better. And I'm going to challenge you to be open to a new way that could be even better. And it could be a way of framing everything that is different for you. And I'm going to let that be something you discover with this challenge, because I bet that something is going to trickle in with that. Just like for all of us, we're all going to be getting some amazing insights that are just for us, perfect for just us in this challenge. So whatever you're working through, definitely let go and be open to the process. And if you would like a little bit more attention, then shoot me an email at sophia@sofiawren.com. It's right below my name here. And me and you can set up like a half-an-hour conversation just to talk about, what do you want to get out of the challenge? What's going on for you? How can I help make things easier and quicker and funner for you? And if there's any tools I recommend, like a video, like my free forgiveness process, maybe my membership community, or something else I offer, or something someone else offers, whatever I think could help you, I really would love to, just to help you maximize the challenge. So that is up for you at any point. Just send me an email and we can look at our schedules and find a good time to connect and know each other more. So that's really exciting. I hope you guys are kind of excited about the prize, and if it freaks you out, that's okay. We're going to do some tapping. So we're going to do some tapping on how to be a little bit more open to our creativity and let some of these fears and things go that could be kind of making our table rickety, like making us feel uncertain or unstable, or a little bit like, writing, we're going to be kind of a little bit more zen about it afterwards. And Renee has done the Sacred Writing Challenge before, and I think she's proud of it. So she said that she loved reading her writing last year, and she's still reflecting on it. So it's amazing what comes through. It can be really valuable for a long time. Now to a little quote from Elizabeth Gilbert. I'm having so much fun right now, you guys. I can't even tell you. I don't even want this to end. I know we're going to be finishing up in about 10 minutes or so, but okay, so she says, all right, creative living is a path for the brave. We all know this. And we all know that when courage dies, creativity dies with it. We all know that fear is a desolate boneyard where our dreams go to desiccate in the hot sun. This is common knowledge. Sometimes we just don't know what to do about it. Let me list for you some of the many ways in which you might be afraid to live a more creative life. You're afraid you have no talent. You're afraid you'll be rejected or criticized or ridiculed or misunderstood, or worst of all, ignored. Blah. You're afraid there's no market for your creativity and therefore no point in pursuing it. You're afraid somebody else already did it better. You're afraid everybody else already did it better. You're afraid somebody will steal your ideas, so it's safer to keep them hidden forever in the dark. You're afraid you won't be taken seriously. You're afraid your work isn't politically, emotionally, or artistically important enough to change anyone's life. You're afraid your dreams are embarrassing. You're afraid that someday you'll look back on your creative endeavors as having been a giant waste of time, effort, and money. You're afraid you don't have the right kind of discipline. You're afraid you don't have the right kind of workspace or financial freedom or empty hours in which to focus on invention or exploration. You're afraid you don't have the right kind of training or degree. You're afraid you're too fat. I don't know what this has to do with creativity exactly, but experience has taught me that most of us are afraid we're too fat. So let's just put that on the anxiety list for good measure. You're afraid of being exposed as a hack or a fool or a dilettante or a narcissist. You're afraid of upsetting your family with what you may reveal. Been there. You're afraid of what your peers and coworkers will say if you express your personal truth aloud. I've been there with all these. You're afraid of unleashing your innermost demons, and you really don't want to encounter your innermost demons. You're afraid your best work is behind you. You're afraid you never had any best work to begin with. You're afraid you've neglected your creativity for so long that now you can never get it back. You're afraid you're too old to start. You're afraid you're too young to start. You're afraid because something went well in your life once, so obviously nothing can ever go well again. You're afraid because nothing has ever gone well in your life, so why bother trying? You're afraid of being a one-hit wonder. You're afraid of being a no-hit wonder. So this is an example of our list here of possible things that could come up now or through the challenge that could keep you from putting pen to paper. And I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to share with you a tool that I use with my clients, with myself, to help us to get more comfortable. The truth is that fear is a physical thing. It affects our minds, but it starts in our body. And I know this because I've studied body work. I actually have a license in massage therapy from a while ago, but I keep it because I do a little bit of work with the body, but I do it over distance. So what you need to do is you just need to know about a few pressure points, and these help you to switch off fear. Like, click, it's gone, no more fear. They use this with people with PTSD. It's great for like panic attacks or waking up in the middle of the night. It's fantastic. And we can use it to help us to feel zen, to feel like we're just ready and calm, and we're not afraid of the blank page. We're not afraid of whatever story came up to bite us in the butt and keep us from having fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and just learn about the points real quick. This is going to be really fast. So the top of the head, anywhere in the top of the head is very sensitive. And you just lightly tap here so you feel it kind of bouncing off like a trampoline. And then we go ahead and we tap the end of our eyebrows. Reading that list kind of freaked me out. Now I'm getting a little calmer as I tap, right? Okay, there's the end of the eyebrows. It's not an exact thing. It's okay. Just sort of the general area. Then underneath of the eyes, it's kind of on my eye. There's a bone there. Underneath the nose, underneath the mouth, and then collarbone. Okay, let's just stick with those points for right now. And then all you need to do is just tap as I speak, okay? Sometimes people like to say the same thing, but I'm going to help you just focus on whatever feeling, and then we're just going to calm it down with tapping on it, okay? So here's a big belief, all right? Remember, it's going to sound a little negative, but it's because we need to flip off the fear. So we're going to move from that into being really positive and making new intentions for this challenge. So there's so many stories that keep me from writing, that keep me from exploring my creativity. There's a little hint of truth in all of them. All those stories about not being a good enough writer, that it's not worth my time, that it's indulgent, that people aren't going to like it, and so many more. A part of me is waiting for evidence, is waiting for proof that I'm a good writer, that this is worth it, that people like it, because otherwise it's kind of scary, kind of dangerous. And I don't know why I'm scared of a piece of paper, but oh yeah, I remember. Some people are harsh critics. Well, I'm going to take space for myself. With this challenge, I'm going to do this for myself. And it doesn't matter if it's good or not. Maybe just writing will help me. Maybe it'll just feel really good to let out my thoughts, to let out my feelings. And maybe I'll never reread it ever again, but it will just help me to vent. It will just help me to let go and clear my channel, clear my vessel off of all those dusty fingerprints, those opinions of other people, because everyone's got their opinion. So why don't I take my own and write it down just for me to read. And if I feel like sharing it, then I will. But I'm not going to make a big deal about it if I don't. And I'm not going to make a big deal about it if I miss a day, although I hope to do a bunch of the days, maybe even all of the days, and maybe I'll win a prize. But the biggest prize is just being me. It's just being more me and feeling free. Free to write my mind. Free to write my spirit. Free to sink into my body and write a few lines just for me to read and know myself and know for myself my next step, because I can hear my intuition and I trust myself. And I trust that if I'm here, I'm supposed to be here, and it's okay. It's okay to write. It's okay to be me. It's free. It's easy. I like it when I write, despite all the stories. I respect that, but I also respect myself. I respect the stories and where they came from, wherever that was, but I'm ready to let them go, to transform those stories into something new, or send them back where they came from, so that I can be even more myself, radiant, expansive, and beautiful, and be able to just share my presence with people, because I feel that comfortable being me. I'm ready for this challenge. All right, everybody. So that was just a little way to kind of get some release from any of that. And you can use the tapping to say any of those fears I read if you want to be specific about it. There's a lot more you can do with tapping. Sometimes I just read what I've written down in the morning to kind of work through some of that anxiety from my dreams and things like that. Actually, I have a video called Tapping into the Power of Your Dreams that goes into that more in depth. But that's a little taste of something that I do with people. So that's all for today. And anyone have any final words? Someone said she felt some huge releases. Well, that is amazing. Yeah, we got some smiley faces. Oh, Renee said she was lucky to be a winner last year and received a reading with me. I still reflect on what came up in that reading. She loved it. Yes, so I do intuitive work as well, and help to pass along messages to you. So that could be something we do in your free session if you win it. Oh, we got some wonderful words, some thank yous. Oh, I love you guys. You are so amazing. You're welcome. Oh, I'm really excited to see everybody in the group. I mean, it's amazing that we have so many people live, and I'm sure people are watching the replay and they're wonderful too. And you're welcome. Yes, I'm so happy to put this together, and we have an amazing community already this round. I'm really, really excited that so many people came out for the show, and I'm really humbled, and that's why I like to share that I think that things come through us, because if I take all the credit for this, then it doesn't feel right. I'm really humbled to be here, to be facilitating, and I can't really believe that I am, and it's amazing. So I get so much out of this challenge too, and so I'm so happy that we can go on the ride together and share what we get out of it, because it's fun to take that second step. It's amazing to have the first realization for yourself, but it's just really fun to share with other people, and maybe it can help them and expand things for them, and we can celebrate together, and we can help each other to maybe do some things that keep falling to the bottom of our to-do list, but we keep meaning to get around to it, and then it shows up in our writing over and over again. So maybe we can help each other to do some of those things. And I'm just feeling so, as so many people have said thank you, and wow. Yay. Oh, hearts. I'm just having like a laughing fit over here. I think the tapping like made me like super giddy. This is awesome! Wow, yay! Was there anything else I wanted to tell you guys, you all? Yeah, I mean, other than that, I just wanted to share, like, yeah, this is going to be fantastic. We've had fantastic times in previous last year, and really it is like one day can just make all the difference. And I haven't told you guys the first day yet, first prompt, but it will be up in the Sacred Rating. Let me just screencast that real quick. I know some people left, but this is going to be on the replay. So let me share. I'm going to Facebook and going to Sacred Rating Challenge. And here we're going, you can always find the prompts quickly by going to photos. If it falls down, you'll see everyone's photos that they posted. And then it hasn't been posted yet, but the next one will be here. They look kind of like these. So what you'll do is you'll go to the one for the day. Today's number 1. What you desire to learn, and then you can leave a comment right here. And that's how you'll get your first point. Okay? So that's where you'll go, and then you'll also go to this group to continue the conversation and make friends and discuss. And if you want to post your own post, you can. And that's how you play with us in the group. So we'll be seeing you in there next. And if you'd like to have a conversation with me to maximize your experience, the door is open, always open. You just email Sofia at oh, whoops. I did not put my full email address on here. It should say Sofia at sofiawren.com. Just like this F, Sofia with an F. Okay, well, I'll put that below this too. I'll remind you. But anyway, so that's open for you if you want to talk more and get some insight from me on how you can make everything a smoother ride and move forward. And I love you all so much. I'm so excited we get to play with the Sacred Rating Challenge. Yay! Alrighty, I'll let you all go and enjoy your weekend, and I'll be seeing you in the group. So today it's what do you desire to learn? So if you want to take that and start rating right now, go for it. All right. Bye from Sofia Wren. Mwah.